Wake up, sleepyhead.
It's party time!
Rock and roll will never die. At least not this Halloween.
You've heard of raising spirits from the dead by incantations, right?
I guess.
I did that by playing the record backwards.
You're kidding.
Welcome to the Cinematic Void podcast. Cinematic Void is a cult film series that hosts screenings in the Los Angeles area. You can find Cinematic Void on the World Wide Web at cinematicvoid.com, as well as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Patreon, which makes this podcast possible. And don't forget, every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific through the end of quarantine is Cinematic Void Up All Night in the Cinemadness movie. Each week, I host a virtual screening of a mystery movie with vintage commercial breaks, trailers, and more. You can tune in at cinematicvoid.com/midnight to spend your late nights in the void. I'm your host, Jim Branscombe, and joining me through the power of the internet is...
Hey, it's Nick Vance. Find me at Paranoid Futures on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and all that stuff. Let's do this.
This episode, we're talking about movie songs, and I don't mean film scores, but songs specifically written for a film. For example, the Ghostbusters theme, Danger Zone, or Eye of the Tiger. But we're going to keep this very genre specific, so we're going to talk about things that have to do with horror movies and cult movies and stuff. So I guess let's just go ahead and jump into this, Nick. And I guess we'll start with a franchise that has a ton of these fucking songs, A Nightmare on Elm Street, specifically with Dokken Dream Warriors.
Oh, yeah. Love Dokken. How about you?
Nope. I consider Dokken like a fifth tier like metal band. Like you have your Priest, your Maiden, your Motorheads, and then Dokken was somewhere like 4 or 5 notches below. I will admit, like the hook to the song, the Dream Warriors part is catchy as fuck off, but like, is it really a good song?
It's not a good song, but it's a sick style.
So we were talking a little bit beforehand. What do you mean by the style specifically?
You know, I mean, it's 80s hair metal. It's perfect for just this era of film, and it just rules. Dream Warriors. Dokken's awesome.
I mean, you know, if I had my choice, I'd rather go with Cinderella's, commercial for Past Chili Dogs, which is like a superior song. It's 30 seconds. It gets to the point, and it's more memorable than anything in Dream Warriors.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Just
the Dokken still rules.
Just gonna pass.
I can't defend Dokken actually, but Dokken's great.
You've seen Heavy Metal Parking Lot, right?
I have. All that shit rules.
The only reason I mention it because, like, besides it taking place in our home state of Maryland, it also involves Judas Priest on tour with Dokken, and I just remember all the Dokken shit talk that went on during that documentary.
Dokken's better than Priest.
Get the fuck out of here. What fucking narcotics are you on? No one's...
All right, moving on.
What do you mean moving on? Can't say Dokken is better.
Mic drop, moving on.
Man, I can't let this stand. What has Don Dokken ever done that was like anywhere close to like a Judas Priest?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. Priest for sure.
I was hoping you were going to defend this.
No, I got nothing, man. I'm just kidding.
So, besides Dream Warriors, the Elm Street series had a bunch of songs like this. In Elm Street 4, there was the Fat Boys, Are You Ready? The Goo Goo Dolls, when they were, I guess, more of a metal band before becoming a pop band, they did a song called I'm Awake on Freddy's Dead.
Oh, this I will defend. This is actually okay. So let's talk about in fact, let's go for this. What's the best Freddy song? What's your best Freddy song? Because this is mine. Goo Goo Dolls.
Is it?
Absolutely. This song kicks ass. I'm Awake, dude. What's it called?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm Awake. It's great, dude. I will put this song up against almost any replacement song. Straight up, this song kicks ass.
Damn.
It's not even really a metal song. It's a lot closer to like what you think of as the Goo Goo Dolls sound. The song rules.
Because this is when I guess they were on Metal Blade the whole time, weren't they?
Definitely, like for the first like three records, for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if they actually played with like Cannibal Corpse.
They might have. That would have been an insane package. I mean, it's possible for the 90s.
I saw him with Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi was way better. Way better.
I mean, after they got that City of Angels money, I guess the Goo Goo Dolls forgot their punk metal roots or whatever. Out of all the Elm Street songs that are official, I will say this one is probably the best one. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of hate mail for this. It was like, but Dream on stop. No. Fucking Goo Goo Dolls, regardless of era, is a better band than Dokken. Better songwriters.
But there are other songs about Freddie.
Yeah. My favorite song about Freddie was never authorized, which is hilarious because of By Who It's By, who's now one of the biggest fucking superstars in the world. It's DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Nightmare on My Street. And like I remember hearing that song and like getting the shit scared out of me as a kid.
How many Will Smith songs start out with him saying that he has a story to tell?
Good portion, but like that was kind of his gimmick because he was honestly, I feel like Will Smith kind of gets shit for, the Jiggy era or whatever, but like Will Smith in this era was like, he was a storyteller. Like he was a damn good rapper. He was touring with like Run DMC and like Public Enemy. So like couldn't be fucking around. Like I think Nightmare on My Street, I think it's mostly based around maybe Elm Street 2, which makes it even funnier. And there is a music video for this, which I just now saw for the first time ever. And there's like a big disclaimer saying like this song has nothing to do with a Nightmare on Elm Street or Freddy Krueger and all that. It's really bizarre because it's like this weird robot thing. It looks like you remember that weird moon thing that McDonald's had with the glasses and Max Headroom? It looks like that is had a baby, and that's like the Freddy creature in it.
For sure. You just reminded me there is a Goo Goo Dolls video for that song as well, and they like fall asleep and wake up in a movie theater, and then it shows like a little clip of the film. It's so cheesy. It's awesome. You definitely got to take a look if you haven't.
I've seen it. I didn't rewatch it for this, which I probably should have done. But I'm gonna just mention as a side, the first Elm Street movie I saw in the theater was Freddy's Dead.
Nice.
And I remember going and like it had, it was the one that was in 3D, at least for that 10 minutes towards the end.
Yeah.
I remember having a good time seeing it. I know it kind of gets shit on now, but it's just like in a franchise where like literally the best one is the first one. I like the second one. I think 3 is. I think 4 is. I think 5 is criminally underrated, and I think this one's underrated. But I have lots of unpopular opinions, and there's going to be a lot of those today. Switching gears from Freddy, let's flip over to Jason. So there was a few of these in the franchise, but I think the only one of note, I know someone's going to be like, well, what about the song from Jason Takes Manhattan? First off, Jason didn't take fucking Manhattan. He went to New York in the last 10 minutes of a movie where he was on a fucking boat. So that just rules that one out. But this song, which was from Part 6, Jason Lives, was by Alice Cooper. When it's called He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask. And it's a good song. It's a good Alice Cooper song, I guess.
And that Alice Cooper song is just more 80s kind of borderline hair metal cheese, which rules. I love that about this kind of 80s guitar era.
Yeah, because it was like they wrote the same song and like a variation of it. How much difference is there really between He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask, or Dream Warriors and like the structure? Like I feel like there was a formula and just everyone like dropped things in.
I agree. The same could be said for the Hellraiser song by Motorhead in Hellraiser 3, which is kind of I want to say Motorhead's take on like Poison's on Skinny Bop or something. I mean, it really, especially the way that bass starts. Oh, I mean, what came first? I didn't look it up. So.
That's a good question. It's weird because I think Motorhead had 2 original songs on this soundtrack. And it's a weird Hellraiser movie. It's the last one where Clive had anything to do with it. It's directed by Anthony Hickok, who did Waxwork and 1 and 2. And, it also, I think it had an Anvil song or something in it too. I could be wrong.
The lyrics to the Motorhead song are Hellraiser, I'll put a spell on you.
Yeah, I don't know what Lemmy's going through. And Lemmy's usually really good with lyrics, but it's just like, I guess it's just like, it's a franchise horror. We'll jump into it. But, it isn't like a classic Motorhead song. It's kind of like, it's like mid-tempo. It's got some bitching guitar solos, and it's kind of grooving, but like, in the grand scheme of a band that like didn't write too many bad songs, this one was just kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
But, that's not a bad thing to say that it was like lower tier for like a soundtrack.
I'll give you this. It's better than Dream Warriors.
Oh, it's definitely better than Dream Warriors. Which also reminds me that Iron Maiden was supposed to have a song on one of the Elm Street movies. And I don't know if it actually had. It might have ended up with the soundtrack, but it wasn't written for the movie. It actually started out as a Bruce Dickinson solo song, which was Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. Once New Line kind of became interested in the song, Steve Harris is like, hey, Bruce, why don't we take this from your solo career and bring it back over the Maiden? So it actually became one of the biggest Maiden songs.
Get that paycheck.
They probably were dumping a fuck ton of money into this at this time. And, like, if you're a metal band that's, like, kind of, like, hitting gold records, kind of getting close to platinum, like Motorhead and Maiden were, take that paycheck. I'm sure it's a good business move. Now, a song that it's not really fits into the genre, but I just found it interesting because I always forget that it was written specifically for a movie, which is Blondie's Call Me, which was for Paul Schrader's American Gigolo.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because that's like a really huge Blondie song, which is kind of like not the norm for this, because all these other songs are kind of like really good bands doing kind of middle of the road material, and this is like a big, huge fucking Blondie song that I assume they still play when they play live. So we're going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about the hip-hop songs that were coming out at sort of the 80s, 90s time. And the first one, which is probably one of the better ones, is Colors by Ice-T for the movie Colors. Now, Colors is interesting because it was written for like a serious Oscar bait type of movie. It stars Sean Penn and Robert Duvall. It's directed by Dennis Hopper, and they used real Bloods and Crips in the movie. And I think they wanted legitimacy, which is why they asked Ice-T to do the song. It's again, like the Blondie song, it's a really damn good Ice-T song. It's one he's really well known for, even though probably a lot of people haven't seen Colors. But if you haven't seen Colors, it's worth checking out. It's a really, really good movie. And then kind of on the same spectrum is Schoolie D's theme for King of New York, directed by Abel Ferrara, starring Christopher Walken in one of his tour de forces, as well as Lawrence Fishburne. Schoolie D was kind of an inspiration for Ice-T. Schoolie D was a Philadelphia rapper, kind of like one of the original gangster rappers. And have you ever seen King of New York?
No, I have not.
It's worth checking out because, like, out of all those like '90s gangster movies coming out, there's just something more rugged and real. Probably because Abel Ferrara is a fucking lunatic in the best way possible. So it's a great movie. It's worth picking up the DVD if you can still find it, because it has a commentary with Abel Ferrara, where at the end of the commentary he pulls out an acoustic guitar and starts covering the Schoolie D song, word for word. And now to kind of go on the polar end of this is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of Ooze, which is a song that a lot of people know, Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice.
Go Ninja, go.
This came out probably around when I was in middle school, I think. I could be wrong. It's the early, mid-90s, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And, like, this song was huge. It was actually it probably wasn't as big as, like, Vanilla Ice's first album, but, like, this song was, like, a huge movie song, and I think it actually led to Vanilla Ice getting his own movie, which was Cold as Ice.
That was like his motorcycle movie or something? What was Cold as Ice?
I guess it's a movie with him on a motorcycle. I think it's supposed to be a biopic. It's like that show, Dave, about Little Dicky, except...
Oh, dude. My favorite thing right now. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, I mean, what I was gonna say, it's basically the groundwork for what Dave ended up.
That rules. Awesome. Cool.
Except Dave's a really good TV show with a really interesting person, and like Cold as Ice is just like a fucking insufferable vanity project that like basically is just waiting to be Mystery Science Theatered at this point. I'm pretty sure he has, or been riff tracks. Next is a song that wasn't written as a rap song, but then I can't say inadvertently, it was intentionally turned into a rap song in the late 80s by one of its composers. It's the infamous Deep Red Rap. Now, we mentioned this when we were talking to Scott Carlson from Repulsion, and the origin of this is pretty fucking ridiculous. Claudio Simonetti, who is the keyboard player of the band Goblin, who did Deep Red, Suspiria, and stuff like that, I guess after Goblin had folded, broken up, or whatever, had started his own project called the Serenade Horror Project, and he released what ended up being a VHS Laserdisc release called Serenade Horror Project, where he played Goblin songs. And they kind of had like a metal edge and that kind of stuff. But like at a certain point, they do a deep red rap. They get this dude, Dr. Felix. Don't know who the fuck he is. Don't know where they found him. Never heard him before this. Never heard of him again. And have this dude spitting like the fucking weakest rap possible over the deep red theme.
I'm pretty sure you showed me a VHS of this in like the late 90s or something. Like this, like so long ago. And this is it's just haunted me.
The funny thing is, I think Claudio Simonetti is fine with it and proud with it, which is good for him. Like it's just ridiculous. And like, I don't know how more people haven't heard about it, because like that was just like that the Simonetti Horror Project was like basically the only way you could see live Goblin concert for a while, because that was it. And I remember I actually got a bootleg VHS off of someone's Laserdisc to watch this. And I was so excited. And I got to the deep red rap and I was like, what the fuck? I rewound the tape and rewatched it, because it's just like, no. And it's done completely serious.
But so much yes.
Yeah. Like, I definitely put it on people's mixtapes. I've definitely like played it for people more than I actually needed to. I'm a champion of this song. It's a terrible song, but it's amazing. And that's what it has going for it. So if you haven't yet, just go on YouTube and look up Deep Red Rap, and your life will be changed forever. But we're going to wrap up this section here, because we're going to talk about a soundtrack, which kind of is the melding of the two things we've been talking about, which is rap and rock. And these are a whole soundtrack of original songs. It's for the movie Judgment Night.
Really, just one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. Straight up.
Like, Judgment Night was the first CD I bought as a kid. Like, I bought cassettes, but like I went out of my way to get that Judgment Night soundtrack after I heard the Onyx and Biohazard like Judgment Night song, which doesn't sound like anything that's on the actual record. Like, I guess they did a remix release of it. But incidentally, that's
so many of these artists are like still my favorite bands. Absolutely. Classic.
Yeah. I mean, the record introduced me to things that I would have otherwise never heard. Like, I would have never went out of my way to hear Sonic Youth, but that introduced me to Sonic Youth, introduced me to Del the Funky Homo Sapien, introduced me to Dinosaur Jr., introduced me to, I'm trying to think what else, like...
Helmet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fan Club.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things I've always liked to do is trying to find live performance of this. And as of now, outside of, like, I guess... the Onyx Biohazard music video, there's only 2 actual live performances. One was on the Arsenio Hall show back in the day, where Dinosaur Jr. and Del the Funky Homo Sapien did their song. And it's kind of even cooler because like Dinosaur Jr.'s backing band was Mike Watt of the Minutemen and I think Mike D of the Beastie Boys on drums. So it's this weird thing that like happened once, which was a thing of beauty. And then if you go on YouTube, you can actually find Everlast from House of Pain with Helmet doing at least part of the song from Judgment Night, which is actually really cool. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we return, we're going to talk more about soundtrack songs on the Cinematic Void podcast. Welcome back. We're still talking soundtrack songs on the Cinematic Void podcast, and we're going to start off with a song called Willow Song. It's a little slow groover. It's kind of folky. It's from The Wicker Man, and it's very, very infamous because that's the song that Britt Eklund does the naked dance to while the tortured virginal Edward Woodward is in the other room, like about to explode kind of thing. Now,
super horny scene.
It's weird to talk about a scene that's haunting and horny all at once, but that's it. Although I'm pretty sure Britt Eklund had a body double for some of it, because like it goes like they play that whole fucking song. And a little incidental, when we played this film at Beyond Fest, we had gotten an IB Tech print, which if you don't know what IB Tech print is, it's a print that's struck that doesn't really fade, keeps its colors. It's really beautiful print. So we had this IB Tech Wicker Man. And as we're doing the print inspection, we noticed that part of the film had been cut out and replaced with like a lesser source. It was another IB Tech print, but it had gone vinegar, and we're like, why did that happen? And then we're like, I wonder if it's the Britt Eklund dance. And we put up the reel. Sure enough, there's the switch. Now, we're going to talk about another kind of folky country song, which is the Ballad of Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine, written by John McDermott, which is a really, really good song that sets up the movie, explains the lore. And I kind of wish more horror movies had this as a tactic as opposed to like the Doc and Dream Warriors of the world.
This is actually a good song. This is one of the few on the list that I can confidently say this is actually a really good song. Maybe not great, a really good song.
I mean, it's
well-written
solid.
Song.
Yeah, it's definitely solid.
It perfectly sets the tone for the film. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is a song, and this one's interesting because this was kind of an afterthought. It is from Savage Streets, which is the song Justice for One, which is the big, like, Linda Blair's character getting ready to, like, take revenge on these scummy rapists, like, montage song. It's by this guy, John Farnham. And I did a screening of Savage Streets back in 2016. It was one of the early Cinematic Void screenings, and I had 3 of the guys from the film who were part of the gang. And one of the guys was telling me that, like, straight up, the original soundtrack for the film was supposed to be like punk bands like the Germs and Black Flag and stuff. And then one of the producers decided, like, nah, we're going to do, like, want something more 80s. So they dumped the punk soundtrack and did this, like, kind of like power metal, Eye of the Tiger feeling song, which is Just for One. It's a catchy song. I don't know if it's great, but it kind of works in the scheme of the movie.
I think this song rules. I definitely think the song rules. It's definitely kind of like it fits in a weird pocket of, like, it's a little AOR, it's a little new wave, it's a little hair metal. Like, it kind of perfectly, it's just one of those perfect kind of 80s sounding songs. It's great stuff. And John Farnham, Australian guy, he 2015 there's a group in Australia called Reclaim Australia. It was like an anti-Islamic group, like a pro-right group, and they used one of his hits from 2 years later, from '86, "You're the Voice." But yeah, and so there was a bunch of controversy there in 2015 for him, and he was very upset when they used his song. So there you go.
I mean, that's probably on the level of, like, Donald Trump trying to use, like, Born in the USA or something like that. Like,
it's the same kind of very anthemic song, like, we're in this together, but it's like together, in quotes.
When stuff like that happens, it's just like, it's sort of like the number of Republicans that talk about how much they love Rage Against the Machine, which is Which I have this theory that, like, a lot of people listen to music because, music's for the soul, but don't pay attention to what the song's about. This is going to be a weird transition. So, some of the sequels to Lucio Fulci's Zombie, which was, actually, let's backtrack, was a little bit of history. So, George Romero's Dawn of the Dead was released in Italy and around Europe, non-English speaking Europe, as Zombie. A producer got the idea, like, we're going to do an unauthorized sequel, which was Fulci's Zombie, which was called Zombie 2. A few years later after that, there was a Zombie 3, which Fulci was the director, but then he got sick and had to leave the film, although I kind of get the impression that, like, he just didn't want to do it and said, oh, I'm sick. You guys finish it. So Bruno Mattei and Claudio Fragasso. Claudio Fragasso is best known for doing Troll 2. Bruno Mattei just makes insane movies like Hell of the Living Dead and Rats. So they took the movie and just made this bonkers-ass fucking sequel to Zombie, which was Zombie 3, which has this great, weird, very cheesy, like, power metal song, hair metal song. That, again, goes with the era. And then Zombie 4, which was just directed by Claudio Fragasso, had the same thing. And other than, they're catchy songs, but they're, again, in that vein of, like, cheesy power hair metal. I think after Eye of the Tiger, like, everyone went chasing that, like, that catchy, like, weird spectrum of, like, hair metal, power metal, ballad, a little bit of new wave, just trying to, like, cover as many fucking genres as possible.
You need a song for when the protagonist is preparing for that final battle, And these are the perfect songs for that.
Well, it's funnier because I think the Zombie 3 and 4 songs are just like opening and closing credit songs. So like there's no montage build up. It's just like they get you pumped up for the movie, and then I mean at least those movies are fucking ridiculous and deliver. Now, this one's a little bit different because it's an end credits song, and it's performed by Tony Darrow, who's playing the character Nick Duran from Street Trash. Now, the Nick Duran character in Street Trash only has like 2 scenes really. He's like a mob boss, and you've seen Street Trash, right?
Absolutely.
And for those of you who haven't, Street Trash involves homeless people that drink this booze called Viper that's been sitting around that just basically makes them melt and explode. So basically this mob boss ends up taking a drink of this stuff and he melts. So the end credit song is from the mob boss, played by Tony Darrow, doing this song of talking about melting and like dying. The song's called "We Do Things My Way," and he's like, "What the fuck is this shit? I'm melting," kind of stuff. It's fucking funny. I would say
it's awful.
Yeah,
it's for sure awful. It's obviously what it is. Fucking, we do things my way, right? It's like Frank Sinatra drank Viper. Like that's the joke, right? Like, fuck, man, it's awful.
That's all it is. It's fucking awful and it's fucking amazing all at once. And now I didn't really plan this out because we're just switching gears, grinding gears at this point. So. Now, this one was a whole soundtrack by a band, but we're going to just specifically talk about the theme song, which is Joysticks by this band, Legion. Now, there's countless other bands called Legion. Lots of dodgy black metal bands, I'm sure, are called Legion at this point. But the theme to Joysticks is really catchy because it explains the movie. It's got a lot of innuendo, which, at first, sex comedy is good. Playing with my joystick.
Totally awesome video games.
Yeah, I mean...
Great lyrics.
I like this song, but they did the whole soundtrack, so there's a bunch of other songs, and like the other songs are okay. I'm not saying they're bad, but this one is the theme to Joysticks is really good. The rest of them are just kind of okay. Unlike what I'm going to talk about next, which is a movie I've screened them both together, and but I'll say this: like I like Joysticks a little bit better as a movie, but I think Pinball Summer has the better soundtrack. It's by it's by 2 Canadian guys, Jay Bovine and German Gaither. It's basically the best power pop record that most people haven't heard. That's on a obscure Canadian produced sex comedy.
Great song, dude. I'm about to sing it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Pinball Summer, like that song's a fucking banger. And like, I gotta be careful talking about it because like I'll start singing it. I'll be stuck in my head for a week. Like it's a damn good song. Like, take it out of a movie, it's a fucking song. It should have been like a radio hit or something. Like it should be a goddamn anthem is what it should be.
Attention power pop bands, cover Pinball Summer.
Like seriously, I'm surprised no one has. Like, get on that shit, man. That fucking song is a banger. That whole fucking album's a banger. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, but when we return, we're gonna talk about directors and actors singing songs in movies on the Cinematic Void podcast.
Now, some kids like good, clean fun.
I know.
And some kids don't like good, clean fun.
Excuse me.
Some kids like to mess around.
Hold it! Everybody up.
And some kids like to fool around.
What the hell's going on?
I beg your pardon.
Care for a toke?
Oh. And that's what Pinball Summer is really all about. Things like making trouble. And making out.
I guess I haven't changed my socks in a couple of days.
Getting high.
You're lighting it the wrong way, Frankie.
And riding high.
You drowned my bike! It doesn't even know how to swim!
I'll take you on.
It's those damn kids down at that arcade.
Take a chance, come along with me. I'm gonna show you a real good time. Come on, baby, look so bad.
What a
A movie that makes you wish that summer would last forever. Pinball Summer.
Welcome back to the Cinematic Void podcast. We're still talking about soundtrack songs. We're going to bring up someone who's no stranger to doing soundtracks, but I think this is only one of two times that he's actually wrote a song to sing on. I'm talking about John Carpenter and his band, the Coupe de Villes, which consists of him, Nick Castle, who's the director of The Last Starfighter, aka The Shape from Halloween, and Tommy Lee Wallace, who is John Carpenter's longtime editor and production designer, as well as the director of Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and the It TV miniseries. And they did the theme song to Big Trouble in Little China. I don't even fucking know. I don't know.
So good.
This one's utterly ridiculous, especially when you watch the music video. I get the impression that like Fox dumped a lot of money in this. There was a music video budget, and Carpenter's like, "Fuck it, why not?" And
Carpenter's playing that Rickenbacker bass. Dude, this video is hilarious. This song, hilarious. So good.
I just like the fact that they had to do dual vocals on it. So Carpenter does all the baritone, and like Nick Castle does all the I'm not say falsetto, but like a couple octaves higher. Yeah, let's say falsetto.
You gotta love when the it's the title track of the film. It says the name of the film in the song. Like, I love it. I love that so much.
I mean, truthfully, it is catchy, but it's one of those things where like the ridiculous factor kind of like overweighs everything. And then again, with these transitions, we're going to move on to a guy that was actually a songwriter before he got into acting. It's David Hess, who wrote the song Wait for the Rain for the movie The Last House on the Left, which he also starred in. So David Hess wrote some songs for Elvis and wanted to be an actor, and like really wanted to do Last House on the Left, offered to do the soundtrack as well. It's kind of a folky, it's really interesting. I actually say this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's another one. It's like an actually well-written, like great song. It's kind of got like a Cat Stevens vibe or something like that. Harry Chapin Carpenter, like that kind of vibe, you know?
Which, considering the movie that it is like it's kind of a nice counterpoint to like just how vile and like rough and brutal the movie is. Especially when it's the man that's doing a lot of the vile and brutal stuff singing it. This is another actor that's singing a theme song to a movie. It's the song Neon Slime from Vice Squad, and it's Wings Hauser, who I didn't do any research, so I don't know Wings had a career of singing, but he sings the main song. He also stars as the bad guy pimp Ramrod in the movie. And this might be one of my favorite written for a movie songs sung by an actor. Because he just goes for it. He's like, in the neon slime. Like, Wings just fucking goes for it. I don't know how this didn't get like an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song, because like whatever came out the year Vice Squad came out, you're not as good as Wings Hauser doing Neon Slime. I'm sorry.
Bang bang shoot 'em up, talking about crime. It's poetry, dude.
Oh man. Now this next one I think is legit. I think it's a great song regardless that it's in a movie, let alone a TV movie. I think I don't understand how it's not more celebrated, but I guess it's one of those things that's been lost in time. Although I do champion the fuck out of this movie. It's The Midnight Hour. It's Sherry Belafonte doing the song Get Dead. I think it's the only original composition in the movie, because there's a lot of like, the Midnight Hour songs played over and over again, a lot of 40s and 50s kind of like that kind of stuff, like going to the malt shop kind of songs and driving around in your like cool car. But like it's a really damn good song, and like granted it kind of stops the movie because it's basically a full-on music video for the song, but it's fucking great.
It really is. You can find it on YouTube. It's great. It's awesome. It's almost like watching a music video or something, but like, total just zombies and dancing around. Great. Oh, just totally awesome.
I mean, watch it on YouTube, but like, on a bigger level, go check out Midnight Hour. It was actually the first movie I did as one of the Cinemadness midnight movies when I started doing these on quarantine screening. I screened it the first year of Cinematic Void with WNUF Halloween special because it's, I don't know, it's one of the few movies that I think captures the spirit of like the Halloween season. Plus, like this song is a fucking banger. Like, I would kill to do a fucking full Midnight Hour reunion and have Sherry Belafonte just bust out this song. I would kill people. I would rob banks. I would love to see this happen. Like, seriously, like out of all the songs we've mentioned, like this one's like definitely under the radar and it's definitely worth checking out. It's actually included in the VHS Dance Party mix that I just put up for the months of May and June on the Cinematic Void website. So if you want to check it out that way, go ahead. I didn't actually do anything to that video. I just put the song in it as is because it's that fucking good. It's like, why fuck with perfection? This one's from a remake sex comedy called Where the Boys Are 84. It's the song Where the Boys Are, and it's sang by the star Lisa Hartman, which I think it's more of like an end credit song than like opening credit song. And if you've never seen Where the Boys Are 84, like I like it a lot. A lot of people kind of like dismiss it, but like I think it's a really, really cool like 80s sex comedy. I like it better than the original. I'm sure I'll get some hate mail for that. And like I'm actually going to talk about this a little bit more later in the next section, but like it's a really, really, it's a really good theme song sung by one of the stars of the movie. Speaking of stars of movies that are musicians, there's a couple that come to mind. Obviously, there's Kiss Meets the Phantom TV movie, but that movie, I know people like that movie, but like Peter Criss had to be dubbed in. So actually, it's funny that I say that because what I'm about to talk about next is the Ramones and Rock and Roll High School, where I think Dee Dee had to have most of his lines cut because he was a terrible actor. But like, again, I'll say this, probably gonna piss people off. Ramones, top tier. Kiss, they're fine.
Ramones way better than Kiss. However, Kiss is great for sure.
But Rock and Roll High School is fun because like I think the Ramones were the last choice of a band that was supposed to be in the movie. I'm blanking on who were some of the other choices, but like it's absolutely perfect. And now we're going to move from punk to like, again, heavy metal, power metal, that kind of stuff, as we talk about John Michael Thor for Rock and Roll Nightmare, which is basically a film that stars John Michael Thor playing pretty much himself in a goofy monster movie thing with him doing songs and stuff. It's a lot of fun. It might not be the best movie, and it's definitely goofy in spots, but like out of all the like the kind of like things where a rock star plays themselves in a movie, this is one of the better ones that turned out. Maybe not on execution, but like it's enjoyable. I feel like if we're going to talk about musicians starring movies and also doing the soundtrack, we have to close out with probably one of the most famous ones, which is David Bowie and the Labyrinth soundtrack. Now, he recorded 5 original songs, probably the most famous one, which is kind of operates sort of like the Sherry Belafonte song and Get Dead in the Midnight Hour, which is the Magic Dance, which basically kind of stops the movie, so it's a full-on like music number. I guess there's a few of these in Labyrinth, but that's the big one.
I mean, definitely we're roughly the same age. Like that was my first Bowie experience, for sure.
Labyrinth is definitely my wife's favorite movie, and I think repertory, I've seen Labyrinth more times than any other movie, just taking her to go see it, and like I like Labyrinth a lot. I think the other reason this works is because like David Bowie's not only a top tier musician, he's a top tier actor. Like everything I've ever seen David Bowie in, from be it Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, even though he's in it for like 2 seconds, to like The Man Who Fell to Earth, like Bowie's a fantastic actor and a fantastic musician, which is a fucking rarity. Because like usually you can be one, you can be the other, you can't be both, and Bowie's like the exception. All right, we're going to take another quick commercial break, but when we return, we're going to talk about fake bands performing songs in movies on the Cinematic Void podcast.
It's 1980. Welcome to Rock and Roll High School.
Rock and Roll High School?
I am Miss Togar, and I am the new principal of this school. And who are you?
I'm Riff Randall, rock and roller.
The only girl I ever dream about at night is Riff.
I've done more detentions than anyone in the school's history.
Are you a virgin? How about a cheerleader? Nice set of pom-poms.
Tom wanted Riff, but Riff wanted to live a rock and roll fantasy to the music of her favorite group.
The hottest band this side of the Iron Curtain, the Ramones!
With his godforsaken noise.
Things sure have changed since we got kicked out of high school.
Hey, come on, you guys, follow me into the school!
They tried to stop their music, but the kids got wrecked
And rocked the school.
I just talked to the chief of police. He's going to storm the building.
Rock and Roll High School, the school where the students rule.
Could your school be next?
Welcome back. We're going to wrap up things talking about soundtrack songs with a couple of songs that were performed by bands that don't exist in movies. Up first is one of the more famous ones, which is Teenage Suicide by the fake band Big Fun, which is, the song's called Teenage Suicide, and the hook is Don't Do It, which is this perfect, like, hit song, fake hit song backdrop from the movie Heathers, which involves the people committing suicide or actually being murdered and that kind of thing.
Always been a big fan of this song. Always wanted a fucking Big Fun t-shirt, like in Heathers, like it's just big block letters, Big Fun, like on a white tee, black letters. Like I love that shit so much. And I believe there was a fucking, there was eventually, and I don't know if it was because of the movie or what, but there was a Canadian band called Big Fun. And I'd always, when I'm like flipping through records, I would see Big Fun and be like, oh, like I always wanted to fucking find a fucking Don't Do It fucking single, you know?
I'm surprised in this day and age with all the soundtrack reissues that no one has done it. Like made a Big Fun record or put out a fake Big Fun record. In fact, someone should. So if you're listening and you own a record label and have some cash to burn, license Teenage Suicide by Big Fun. Put it out as a single. You'll be doing the world a favor. Now, this next one, I will go to bat and say this is probably one of the best songs written for a fake band in a movie. It's we were talking a little bit before we start recording because it covers so much and does so much, and like I can see why people would easily dismiss it as like a Rick Springfield knockoff, but like this fucking song is so much more. It's Baby Lied from Neon Maniacs by Rick Bowles.
Dude, this song has so much passion, so much heart. Dude, Baby Lied, dude. I love this song.
The opening line is like, let me ruin your weekend. The stranger said to me. Fuck, dude, just going for it.
This song, it's just, again, just in that realm of like, it's kind of power pop, kind of AOR. Like, I love, just, damn it, I love the 80s. Like, I seriously, like, just, I was a small child, and I definitely have this nostalgic feeling for this era, and then this era of this kind of movie, you know? And these types of songs just, it fits so well, man. Baby Lied.
I mean, what makes this song interesting and like, again, like obviously it's definitely taking a page from Rick Springfield. That's very apparent. But like you were mentioning, like, you know, it definitely has a feel of some of those, like when the Replacements stopped being punk and got more into like pop rock and like decided like we really like the Rolling Stones, so we're gonna throw that shit in there. Like it's definitely like college rock meets like 80s radio rock and like I guess Bruce Springsteen and like a whole bunch of things in there, and like, and it hits all those fucking buttons and it does it well.
The hook is so big. What the fuck, dude?
Like, I kind of get the feeling if like Neon Maniacs had been a bigger hit, this would be like a fucking horror hipster national anthem or something like that. But like, I mean, the other thing is, like, it has nothing to do with Neon Maniacs, and it plays during basically a Battle of the Band scene. But like when that shit drops, it like I wouldn't say it stops the movie, but like it elevates the movie, which is really fucking cool for a movie that has a bunch of cool monsters in it anyway. And it's just like, does the song need to be in there? No, but it makes things a whole fucking lot better because it's there.
The only movie song better than Baby Lied. Ready for it?
Ready.
Ready for it? Aerosmith, I don't want to miss a thing on again.
Oh fuck, man! I might as well just unplug the mic and go home now because where I don't even know where to go from there. That there's probably someone that's gonna say like,
he's right.
He's right.
He's right. You can't argue.
Fuck, man. There's just so much. There's just so the movie it's attached to.
Sorry.
Oh man, it's just like Ben Affleck playing with animal. Steven Tyler's daughter, Liv Tyler. Fuck, man. Oh man, I don't even know. God damn it. What did you do?
I ruined everything. I'm sorry.
You're like the one dude that like doesn't close the Ouija board and just lets all the fucking evil out.
I brought the acoustic guitar to the party. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't even hate Aerosmith.
Oh, you reminded me of this. You just reminded me. I know I've said this in other places, but I have to tell this story. So the first time I saw Wayne's World in the theater, I was probably like, when did that come out? Like 91. Like I was like 12 or whatever. And when the Bohemian Rhapsody comes on, I had never heard Bohemian Rhapsody in my life, and I thought it was like written for the movie. So when like Wayne and Garth are singing Bohemian Rhapsody in the car, and it's like so fucking crazy and absolutely just hilarious, I thought it was just like some fucking song written for the movie, not some like famous fucking classic rock song. And I don't know, that always sticks with me when I eventually found out that was a famous song. But
I mean, you weren't alone in that. Like because like you and I are pretty much the same age, and like I probably knew of Queen or heard of Queen, but I didn't realize like who they were. So I'm hearing this song, I'm like, this is just a crazy like thing going on, and like, I mean,
comedy gold.
Yeah. I'll say this: it probably opened up Queen to a whole new audience and got people into it that otherwise might have missed it. Like, I think I'm going to use this comparison, not that they're really similar, but like, there's Led Zeppelin, there's Queen, and they're both big rock bands. But Led Zeppelin was always very, very protective. They never let their songs in the movies and stuff like that. And I think there's always going to be fucking dickheads in Led Zeppelin shirts. They're going to say it's the greatest fucking band ever. But I feel like Queen was elevated by this movie, and because like I think more people could tell you like a Queen song than a Led Zeppelin song off the top of their head, and it's gonna be Bohemian Rhapsody. And I think it's because of fucking Wayne's World. So, party on, Wayne. This next one, again, I mentioned Where the Boys Are 84 before, which is, it's really fun 80s sex comedy. There's kind of a musician battle at the end of this movie where this like trained concert pianist wrote this song for the lead character, Jenny. He's called it Sweet for Jenny. So he starts playing this like really, really like, piano piece. And then this dude that also wants to like be with Jenny busts out with a fucking synthesizer, brings a backing band, and becomes this great fucking musical duel where like basically the concert pianist like just gives up and just starts playing along with like the fucking like 80s like it sounds like a fucking Journey song is what it sounds like.
I've never seen this movie before, but I did look up this part of the movie, and so like when the band members run out and they all start playing and it totally fucking rules. One of the band members is Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, it is. Again, I think if Where the Boys Are 84 was on the same level as say Valley Girl, like Sweet for Jenny would be celebrated. Like I think it's a well written like pop fake Journey song. It's catchy, It's emotional because I love you, Jenny. Come on, that synth line is fucking tight as fuck. And I guess talk about, we'll kind of wrap up the fake band portion here, but like, I guess we should mention the Lone Rangers from Airheads. Although the song they play isn't an original made for movie song, it's actually a Reagan Youth song, Degenerated. And to this day, I don't understand how a fucking Reagan Youth song ended up in like a fucking, I guess that was tentatively supposed to be like a big like summer like comedy.
Was that like a Saturday Night Live movie? Saturday Night Live kind of production? What was the deal with that one?
I don't know offhand. I should probably research this, but like I do know that it came out the same year as Ace Ventura, and that Cannibal Corpse was offered like the band role in both movies, and they said yes.
Man.
They said yes to both, but then Airheads found out they were doing Ace Ventura, and they were like, well, no. So they got White Zombie to be the band instead. But lo and behold, Ace Ventura was a huge hit, introducing Cannibal Corpse doing Hammer Smash Face to like a huge fucking audience, and Airheads kind of tanked upon its original release. I guess White Zombie did okay for itself, even though it was in that movie. I actually think Airheads is quite fun, but like my understanding of how that Reagan Youth song ended up in there was like, I don't think anyone from Reagan Youth even realized it. I think someone just licensed the song and then did a cover and put it in the movie. And like, I don't think they were too happy about it, because if you ever listened to Reagan Youth, like they were 80s hardcore punk band. They were very, very political, very, very anarchy centric, although the whole Reagan Youth thing was a thing to lure in like Nazi skinheads so they could just make fun of them kind of thing. So I think they were really happy that basically their song that is about like important stuff was kind of in a jokey movie where Brendan Fraser sings Degenerated, Degenerated.
I was going to ask, was it White Zombie singing Degenerated, or was it the cast members? How did that work out? I can't. It's been a really long time since I've seen it.
I'm pretty sure Brendan Fraser sang it. I mean, I could be wrong and someone can correct me, but like, I just want to assume that Brendan Fraser and Encino Man sang Reagan Youth.
I love when the cast members sing a song.
Although I'm pretty certain Steve Buscemi didn't actually play bass. All right, we're gonna wrap things up talking about like soundtrack songs, because we got to talk about one of the more controversial things. And I don't say controversial, I say one of the things that ends up usually not being particularly good, which is the rap end credit themes of movies. Now, this was a thing that was like late 80s, early 90s stuff, and like there's some good movies that end with terrible fucking rap songs. The first one that comes to mind is Monster Squad. And it was like, I think it was written by Michael Cimbolo, who did the song Maniac. He also did another song in Monster Squad, which I'm forgetting, which is a better song than the Monster Squad rap.
Are you speaking of the total banger, Rock Until Your Heart Stops?
Yeah, that song's a fucking banger. The Monster Squad. Yeah. The Monster Squad rap, it's just, there's a, white people trying to rap in the late 80s, early 90s. If you weren't the Beastie Boys or third base, that shit was whack. There's a whole we could probably done a whole episode on like rap end credit themes. That Monster Squad one is like goofy. Waxwork 2 has one that's equally cringy. I kind of like the Maniac Cop 2 one because it's kind of fucking ridiculous. I'll say this, Maniac Cop 2 is the superior Maniac Cop movie, even with the rap song. I mean, it's not as bad as the Monster Squad or Waxwork 2, but it's definitely kind of ridiculous, and it's just like, especially when you watch the movie, it's like, why the fuck are you sticking a raps like a rap?
Well, why was there a rap song at the end of Monster Squad? For sure, like there's nothing in the film at all like that would ever.
It's not like fucking, it's not like it's breaking or like Crush Groove, which like I understand. It's just like, I guess because rap was kind of becoming big, but like the rap that was becoming big wasn't necessarily the good rap. It was just like, or they didn't really understand it. They didn't understand what made a Public Enemy song good or an NWA song good. It actually, I feel like a lot of these songs is like they heard Rapper's Delight, and that's where rap stopped for them.
It's the same thing as the doc and stuff. It's it's the same thing as just record companies just kind of going like, well, this is what's even the Freddie stuff. Like that's why there's Freddie heavy metal songs, there's Freddie rap songs. It's just like, what's up with this year? Like there's somebody that's just like, in touch, out of touch. Record executive guy that's like, well, we're gonna get you guys in this movie. You know what I mean? We're gonna have this rap song, and it's fucking awesome.
This is one from like one of the iconic and like great rappers. And I don't know what the fuck to say about this song. It's Deepest Bluest, Shark's Fin by LL Cool J.
I wish I seriously, like, if I could have been just a fly on the wall, dude. But the day that they wrote the lyrics, my hat is like a shark's fin.
What the fuck does that even mean? It's like,
the video, he's like, his head is like coming out of the water, dude. I fucking so good. Like, it's not even a bad song. It's really not a bad song. But man, my hat is like a shark's fin. I think he said hat.
I had to look this up because it's like, what is like a shark's fin? It says hat, and it's just like, I think in the music video he's wearing a do-rag, which just, I don't know. I mean, we could talk about Will Smith doing a lot of those like theme songs for movies and Jackie Chan had a tradition, at least in the Chinese releases movie, he sang the end theme song. But like, Deepest Blue is fuck it. And, it isn't a bad song, but that line, my hat is like a shark's fin. Someone fucking explain it, because I just don't know. And they just go all in it. But I'll say this, it makes it very memorable, because like when I think of Deep Blue Sea, I think of this fucking song, and I think about Sam Jackson getting eaten by the shark. So well done, ladies love Cool James. We're going to take another commercial break, but when we return, it's going to be Read, Watch, and Listen on the Cinematic Void podcast.
There's someone out there, the most terrifying man in the city, maniac cop.
You better stay away from this man in blue. And don't call a cop, cause he'll stuff them too. They killed him once, but he came back. He's the maniac. So when you're out on the streets and you hear that sound, it probably means that Cordell's around. He's out for vengeance and he can't be stopped. That's why they call him the maniac. The maniac cop.
All right, motherfuckers, it's time for This is the part of the podcast where Nick and I talk about what we're reading, watching, and or listening to. I'll let Nick go first. Hey, Nick, what are you reading, watching, and or listening to?
Hey, Jim. Let's see. Listening-wise, lately I've been listening to a shit ton of Adrian Young stuff, who is a great producer who's worked with like Ghostface, and he's done like the Luke Cage soundtrack. But there's this new record called Jazz is Dead. It's Adrian Young, Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe Called Quest, and they team up with like a bunch of like old like jazz and soul legends. And this record is incredible. Jazz is Dead. I love it. Pray for Paris, West Side Gun. Been listening to that. Ninth Wonder, who's a producer that's worked with like Kendrick Lamar. His newer record, Zion 4. Yeah, I've just been watching tons of old skate videos. Just like Baker 2G, Baker 3, Death Wish videos, fully flared, like drones. Just like more of the same. I haven't watched any movies. I watched Fortress last night. It's in madness. But Stuart Gordon, just skate videos. And I just started reading the new Joe Hill collection, Full Throttle. And he does a couple of short stories in there with his father, Stephen King, who you never heard of. But I don't know, man. That's about it. That's about it for me.
Since this all started, I've been doing a lot more reading, and since we're on Skype, Nick, I'm gonna go ahead and show you these books so you can see. I just finished Are You in the House Alone, which is basically a TV movie companion. It breaks down like different genres, different subgenres, and then has a bunch of reviews at the end. It's really cool. I like TV movies, especially 70s and 80s. We talked about The Midnight Hour, which is a really good one. Talks about Kojak the Night Stalker and both of those. And it talks about like, TV show pilots that got turned into movies. And of course it also talks about Steven Spielberg's Duel, which is considered one of the, if not the greatest TV movie ever made. In fact, like I think most people don't even consider it a TV movie anymore. The other thing I just started reading is Perverse Titillation, which is a book on exploitation cinema from Italy, Spain, and France from the 60s through the 80s. Just kind of cracked it open. It's been on my like read list for a while, so I just ordered a copy because hey, got a lot of time to read some stuff. Listening wise, I listened to the new West Side Gun, Pray for Paris. Besides that, I've dug up some. Actually, here's the funny thing: I've been listening to a lot of straight edge hardcore.
Nice.
I've been throwing on One King Down, Bloodlust, Revenge. I've been listening to that record in fucking forever, and like it just hitting the spot. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely more of like metalcore, I would say, than it wants to admit it is. But like listening to that, I've listened to a lot of like kind of early like Epitaph stuff, and by early I mean like early mid '90s stuff. So watch wise, I've been watching What to Do in the Shadows, which is one of the best TV shows ever made.
Yeah.
Fucking Matt Berry, Hall of Famer. Like, but everyone's been good. This last episode I just watched had Mark Hamill in it as like a guest, and like it's fucking funny. Been watching other FX stuff. I've been watching Dave with rap.
Dave, I love Dave so much. I knew nothing of that dude, of Lil Dicky or whatever. Man, that show is I will seriously I will gush about that show so hard you would think I worked for FX. Like straight up, I love it. Oh my god, like it hits all the spots. It really does. So check that shit out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a Little Dicky before, like that show, and I was kind of like leery because I knew he was like kind of a gimmick joke rapper thing, but like the show's fucking good, and it's like it kind of made me like appreciate what he does and like appreciate it as a whole thing, and like I kind of found out like I think it was the Double XL magazine when they did like I think it was magazine, I could be wrong, when they did like Rap Rookies of the Year, he was on the cover with Denzel Curry and stuff like that. So I mean, dude's definitely skilled, so he's not fucking around. And besides that, been rewatching The Great British Bake Off on Netflix.
Nice, cool.
Morgan, my wife, it's a comfort show, so it's been like kind of nice to revisit. And there's just something very peaceful about watching people bake. I don't know what it is. Even when they completely fuck something up, it's been relaxing because definitely trying to like not be as stressed. And then been watching, of course, the Cinematic Void up all night and the Cinemass movies, mostly because I've been editing them. I guess that's the way to watch them, and watching tons of commercials. I am that goddamn Cinderella Pat's Dogs chili dog commercial gets stuck in my head like once a fucking day now, and like I'll just start singing it. So this is why, Dokken, you may have Dream Warriors, but they ain't no Pat's chili dogs.
Well, I would definitely recommend you listen to Night Songs and Long Cold Winter if you have it. It's the first two Cinderella records. Listen to them this next week. Get back to you on that.
All right. I'll put them on my playlist. So I guess this is going to wrap up this episode of the Cinematic Void podcast. If you haven't yet, make sure you check out the VHS Dance Party mix, which includes a bunch of these songs we talked about tonight. Next time we do a podcast, we're going to be bringing on a mutual friend of ours. He's the designer of the Cinematic Void logo, as well as a bunch of the art that I use, all the flyers, t-shirts. He's Eagle Barber, really cool dude. Hopefully he's going to bring some vegan food recommendations, even though we really can't go to restaurants, but we'll figure that out. Until then, see you in the void.